Hi guys, welcome back to our course on NumPy. In our last lecture, we covered the measures of central location as well as we calculated the standard deviation. And in today's lecture, I'm going to explain and demonstrate the use of arange and linspace methods of NumPy. So let's get started. Let me open my terminal. So first of all, I'm going to write Python 3 and hit enter. So what is arange method? That's going to be our first topic. So NumPy arrange is one of the array creation routines in Python. So array creation routine is just a method to create an array. So arrange method is one of the array creation routines or array creation methods based on numerical ranges. It creates an instance of ND array with evenly spaced values. So it creates an instance of ND array with evenly spaced values and returns the reference to that array. In simpler words, because I know that complicated definitions are a little difficult to understand. So in very simple words or in beginners or rookies words, it returns a list of integers between the start and stop parameters. So it returns a list of integers between the start and stop parameters or values, including the start value but excluding the stop value or the end value. So it's pretty simple now. It's a method to create an array. So that array will contain a list of values which will be evenly spaced and they will be between a start and a stop value. So let me just write array is equal to np.arange and pass a start value and a stop value. Sorry, I have not imported numpy as np first, so it's giving me an error. Let me just import and do the same thing again. So array is equal to np.arange and I need to pass 0 and 11 as start and stop value and I need to print the array. So you can see that I passed 0 and 11. So I got all the integers between 0 and 10 and not 11. So 11 is not included. So this returns us numbers from 1 to 10. And one thing to note is that 11 is not included. So that's an important observation and an important thing to keep in mind while working with arange method. If you might have observed, arange method is very similar to the Python range method. So if you are not acquainted with the range method, please refer to our playlist on Python. Another important attribute of the arange method is the step size. We can also specify the step size. So let me just specify this step size as 2. Now I am printing the array again and now I got only the even values. So note that this returns us the even values or the even numbers from 0 to 11. So whenever there's a question that create an array of even numbers between a starting and an ending value, you can always use arange method and specify the step size as 2. So we can specify whatever step size we require. Now let's move on to the linspace method. So we discussed the arange method, which is very similar to the range method in Python. And now we are going to move to linspace method and see what is the difference between arange method and the linspace method. So the linspace method returns evenly spaced points or elements between a start value and an end value. So it returns evenly spaced points or elements between a start value and a stop value. But an important thing to note here is that they don't need to be integers. So arange method always returns us integers, but linspace method will return us evenly spaced values or evenly spaced points, but they will not be integers. So the syntax is numpy alias or np.linspace. We need to pass start, stop, and the number of elements or the number of points that we need or require. So note that the difference between the linspace and arange is that linspace does not necessarily return integer values. This is a very important point to emphasize. That's why I'm repeating it multiple times so that it gets into your head directly. So don't confuse linspace with arange method because it returns integer values only. So now I'm going to demonstrate the use of linspace method. So you need to follow the syntax as described earlier. So the start is 0, end is 5, and number of values required are 10. So it gives me 10 values. Another important observation here is that it returns the start value as well as the end value. Yes, so that's another difference between linspace and arange method, because arange method excludes the end value while the linspace method includes the end value. Now the next example is obtained 100 points between 0 and 1 which are evenly spaced. So this time I need to specify the start as 0, the end as 1, and the number of values required as 100. Now I have printed the list. So it gives me 100 values between 0 and 1, and it includes 1. So that's the difference. Now I have an assignment for you. Obtained 50 evenly spaced values between 6 and 9 using linspace method. So that's your assignment. I hope you complete it. So in today's lecture, we studied about arange and linspace methods of NumPy, and I demonstrated the use of both. That will be all for today. This video is brought to you by Programming Knowledge. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the bell button for updates. And stay tuned with us for next lecture. Thank you.